Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene will take place once again in Agrabah Nights, that eatery at the edge of the universe, that place where it is the great, powerful, and, let's face it, broke, come in order to take advantage of the free food and excellent service. We will join our motley collection of individuals as they arrive. Feel free to introduce yourselves. I will interpose when it is time for me to settle it.
Olaf. Um, Liza's been kind of back and going back and forth um, between this place recently. There's been a couple of things on her mind ever since she got a certain note. Um, is drinking the strongest coffee here. Yes, that's me, guys.
Um, yeah, Darcy will come as well. She's been making it a habit of going to this place where, you know, it's like the only place that she knows are mages. So she tries to make it a habit of at least visiting there once every day. Um, so she'll come in, kind of pop her head around the tent like entrance, and notices Eliza, and is actually kind of relieved to run into a familiar face again. So we'll once more, almost as if they haven't done this before, um, actually, order champagne, poof, and we'll go over to Eliza.
She currently has her tablet in front of her, and is reading something. And you know how people look when they angry read something, when they annoyed read something, like they're reading something that's pissing them off sincerely. That's how she looks.
Oh boy.
Roros will walk in at this point. He's parked the McLaren outside. He doesn't have his skateboard. He is being followed by Nazir, his ever-present spirit buddy. Well, Jinn buddy. He looks a little frustrated, a little exasperated. He will walk over to his usual table and sit down, and he will order a code red poof and a big old goblet poof. And then he will order some roasted camel and some rice. And he'll pull out a tablet from his backpack and start tapping on it.
Darcy will lean forward towards Eliza slightly. Chocolate pudding for your thoughts? Thoughts?
Is it what? What? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
No, that's fine. You seem kind of engrossed by what you were doing.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Sorry, and she'll put the tablet away.
State secrets or just something really annoying?
It's personal stuff.
Okay, well, if you want some privacy, I can go sit at another table.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine. I've been looking at it over far too often. These since I got it, it's getting ridiculous, honestly.
Cool, because I'm way too pretty to go sit at another table.
Little Miss Ego here. I see how it is.
Roros will actually look up and suddenly realize Eliza's there. Eliza, can I borrow you for a moment?
Um, sure. Do you want to join us?
Yeah, Roros will stand up and walk over, leaving Nazir and his backpack and his laptop at the table. He's going to walk over with the pad. He's like, I've been working on the blueprints for the new place. And one thing I do want in place before real construction begins is defenses for the node. I was hoping you might have some insights or maybe even some plans. I had to bring in an outside contractor to protect the node that I have at my current home.
Well, geez, when you're talking wellspring protections, you got to keep a couple of things. Like, I don't know if you're asking the right person, since the advice that I'm going to give you is probably not the advice that you're going to want to follow because of, different locations and shit.
Right. Mostly what I'm concerned with is making sure the place is protected and shielded before construction begins, so that we don't have people accidentally wandering into the node room.
I mean, it's just like put up the regular firewalls and stuff like that.
Firewalls?
Yeah, wards.
It is at this moment that this individual will enter the establishment. Has anyone here met him physically?
Yep.
Who is it?
Okay.
He looks familiar.
He is the other brother.
If you don't know him, if you don't know the picture, you've just forgotten who he is. He's slippery like that.
Yeah.
But he will walk in. He's dressed very, very immaculately. The clothing is incredibly out of style for the day and date. However, it is immaculately well made. For example, you're pretty sure that you can see the two kind of gold epaulets that are on each of his shoulders. They appear to be made of solid metal, and you're pretty sure they're probably made of solid gold. Not a big thing for mages, but it still looks... Actually, it might be a thing for Darcy. Because Darcy just conjure metal from nowhere.
Yep.
But he has, for the record, his appearance spec is... What is it I gave him? Oh, yes. No. He has one of those specs that I'm really proud of, that I have to tell anyone whenever he's in the stadium. His spec is eyes that could see forever. I have a handful of these. There are like 4 of them that I'm really proud of.
Evan.
Yes.
They're very good, sir. It's okay.
You're a blessing to this world.
I do my best. Nothing will ever beat the sideshows. I am the dragon, though. Yes, he will enter the establishment. He will kind of allow those very cool blue eyes to scan around the room before he will gingerly take a seat a few tables over. And he will order something under his breath, which will appear, and you will see a very, very steaming, bubbling concoction that appears to produce an odd, almost acrid purple smoke.
Poof.
Poof.
Nice.
He will just happily sit there.
Elijah will just continue and carry on. Just put up the regular firewalls. Just make sure you have a couple of, I guess in your case, a couple of unbroods protecting it. Play some guardians. Regular stuff.
Sounds good. I was planning on having a biometric scanner installed as the door security device. However, the person who installs it won't know what's inside of it naturally. What do you think about that?
You gotta be careful with that. Biometric it can work, but if people know what they're doing, it can be easily bypassed. So I would triple layer it.
I might need your help for the hardware on that then.
Sure, if you give me the specs.
Sure. Once I get things narrowed down and put into the design, he's gonna hold up something, and it looks like a blueprint designer application, and it shows what he's basically been working on for the house as far as walls going up and the type of materials and things like that.
One thing, Rose. Is this a favor that you're asking of me, or is your chantry asking me a favor? Is it you asking me a favor, or is it the chantry asking me a favor?
Well, I actually thought that you were going to be part of the cabal like you were last time. You and Samira and Lottie. I know that I'm also working with Vince and Hyun, but you and Lottie and Samira were welcome as well. But I know you have your own chantry you're working with as well, the one that you and Lottie inherited from the Diadne. So I understand if you don't want to use it. I would consider it a personal favor and one that would be definitely repaid as needed.
That's okay. Because I've never heard anything about a cabal. Maybe I've just forgotten it.
It was a long time ago. Samira lumped all of us together.
The stranger kind of cocks his head to the side before he stands up and will very slowly make his way between the tables. He will offer a kind of a curt, he clicks his heels together before he will offer a respectful bow to the table, and he will say, Entschuldigung, my apologies. I could not help but overhearing that you, Miss, are affiliated with the lost and now found chantry of the Diadne, yeah?
That depends on who's asking.
Oh, where are my manners? He will hold out his hand. Wilhelm Grimm, at your service.
Wilhelm Grimm. You'll forgive me, I haven't heard your name before. She'll stand up and hold out her hand.
You've never read any of my work?
Have I? I don't think Eliza has. Maybe?
Has Eliza ever read a Grimm's fairy tale?
I was going to say.
Oh my god. Nope, she has not.
Okay. Well, I shall have to give you a copy of my work sometime, but needless to say, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Recently, I have taken it upon myself in order to form a new organization, one would call it. Perhaps you've heard of the Story Keepers?
Oh, yes. I did hear. Wait, you're the founder of that?
Yeah. Then last I checked.
Hot shit. Nice. Congratulations.
So, my apologies, mein Fräulein. He will stay extending his hand to Darcy. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, of course it is. Hi, I'm Darcy.
He will kiss her hand just above the knuckle on her ring finger of the hand that's offered. I'm sure that you are. You're not sure if he's oblivious or what, but that's just
That is fine. You look quite fancy for someone in 2018.
Well, I often am told by my apprentices that it is better for me to look more inconspicuous, but then a man should dress in the way a man feels, no?
Yes, I agree. And I think, quite honestly, it might make a comeback. It looks very fancy. It could do well on the runway.
Thank you. But I was currently working on a favor for a friend, my apologies, Dr. Hoth. That was your name, yes?
Oh, it's alright. Just call me Eliza.
Oh, as you'd like.
I don't do well with the whole formalities.
Oh, quite right. This is why whenever anyone calls me Master Grimm, my response is to shudder and die a little on the inside. But
yeah, no.
Needless to say, I am working on a new story for a friend of mine who has asked me to put pen to paper in relation to the Diadne, and so I would be very interested in your thoughts on the matter.
I'm sure we can talk about that. Would you mind if that is not here and in a more private situation? It's very personal.
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to meet you at your latest or earliest convenience.
Okay. Where can I reach you?
Well, 1 moment. He will reach into the fold of his robe, into a pocket. He will start removing absolute bullshit from his pocket, including he withdraws a book that is clearly must weigh at least 2 to 3 stone, or about 20 kilos, which he removes with one hand and puts down. He removes a live parrot in a cage. I'm sorry, all of this tends to get lost in the advice that you can never find your wallet when you're looking for it.
I know the feeling.
Darcy's mouth is kind of hanging open slightly.
The parrot looks at Darcy and kind of nods, bobs its head.
Right. It's like a ladies' person there.
Like a ladies' person there.
Oh, it talks.
So do you.
Well, yes.
Why are you so surprised? I happen to be a bird of a nefarious character. You can ask anyone in the avian community.
You know what now?
Silence
Avian.
says. But he will eventually remove the wallet, and he will hand you a business card that contains a contact number.
Thank you kindly. She'll just punch in a number, send the number a text. Just that way they have each other.
I was going to say you will see part of his robe buzz, and he just looks down and sighs slightly.
That's all right. You don't have to shake it out. That's just me.
Ah, good. He then puts all of the detritus back in his sleeve.
Mm-hmm. Oh, have you been acquainted with one of our hosts here, Mr. Roros?
Yes, Master Roros went on a little expedition I organized. He proved himself as a hero.
Rosa just say, I did what needed to be done. You put me in the proper position to be a hero, I will say. But you scared us quite a bit, and fortunately we were able to figure out what needed to be done before any lasting damage was done to the soul in question.
Indeed. I had no doubts that you would overcome. Once again, I have been told great things about the Magi here in Dublin, and they have never disappointed me.
I wouldn't know about that. Eliza sits down and drinks her coffee again.
What do you mean by that, Miss Hoth?
Oh, everybody makes mistakes. There are some that are special.
But it is only when we allow our mistakes to rule us as men or women that there are truly great flaws of character.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm bringing the mood down. I should not talk about this.
If there's something troubling you, Eliza, you should speak amongst friends if you so wish. But I will not force the words.
There are a lot of things troubling me.
Is it something to do with your recent heroics, perhaps?
I wouldn't call that heroics, honestly. The stories make it a lot more pretty than it actually is.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, how is Hyun doing? I haven't seen him since we brought him back.
Hyun?
Yes. I wanted to make sure he had recovered.
We're doing all right.
That is.
Last time I saw him.
That is good to hear. I'm glad his injuries have been healed up properly. I wish I could have done more to save him, but. Did we ever find out the identity of the person who assassinated the deceiver that handed over the prisoners?
I don't know. I wasn't there when that happened.
Anyway, I have taken up far too much of your evening, mein Damen und mein Herren. If you will excuse me, I will withdraw. It's been a pleasure to meet you, Miss Hoth, and I look forward to hearing from you again soon, yeah?
Sure. I'll send you a text tonight. I'll call you tonight.
Wunderbar. Master Rose, always a pleasure, sir. Und
Also on the side.
Darcy, yeah? It's been a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my dear.
Likewise. Thank you.
That he turns on his heel and departs.
Rory is smoking a joint outside the Acrobat Knights.
He never actually makes it down the stairs.
Oh well. Another time.
Why walk when you can teleport?
Fair.
Wow. Fancy.
That was a lot of stuff that I don't know what you guys were talking about.
It is it's interesting. The house I am building is on the site of a house that was haunted.
Really? You're going... Why are you inviting disaster?
It's no longer haunted. I was able to save the soul.
Why are you building on a place infested with the trash can of the universe?
Well, because it's no longer haunted and there's a powerful note underneath. It is an obligation of the Teftani to protect such wellsprings.
You should probably not share the location of notes so readily.
I never said where it was. Just that it was haunted.
Fair enough.
To be fair, from what I understand, there's a lot of haunted places in Dublin.
Well, tell me about it. It's like this never-ending wall of stories keep assaulting us. As Eliza turns and smiles to the camera.
And thus it was, Eliza had her first Deadpool moment. Some people would call that a psychosis.
Rose is just gonna... Who are you smiling to?
Oh, this invisible person that keeps puppeteering us.
I see. Puppeteers should learn to keep their strings to themselves.
Oh no. Never mind. She's just... Hey Rose, can I ask your advice on something?
Of course. How can I help you, Eliza?
If you came across a report from outside of your particular group, but still someone you from a group that you have an alliance with, and you find the report is full of lies, untruths, and just misinformation, but you're not in great standing with the other group, how would you go about confronting said person?
Is person a friend of yours?
No.
The light of Hashem is based upon truth. You say that this report is falsehoods, therefore it is... If you were Teftani, it would be obligation to reveal light of truth upon the words that have been spread by falsehoods, and to ensure the proper truth is sent. But you are not Teftani. You are Society of Ether Doctor. So, I understand your people have a very almost similar view of truth as we do. In that anything that is worth knowing, that is true, must be shared. Is that correct?
Yeah. Anything must be tried and anything must be tested.
If we were going based off of scientific theory, just for a moment, you have formulated hypothesis. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Have you begun entering the experimental phase?
Technically speaking, I've been in the experimental phase for 2 years. Things keep happening. I'm so
Have you
done
been
with
able to reach a conclusion that supports your hypothesis?
it. Yes, but it's not solid, and it's not finished.
Well then, if I remember scientific theory properly, when there is no definitive conclusion that is solid, you enter a second testing phase, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, how is have you entered the second testing phase?
No, we've
Do
been,
you
like I
need
said, we've been getting ready for that, but things just keep fucking happening.
Is there anyone that can help you to accelerate the
A
testing
lot of
phase?
people.
Fuck's sake, Rory. Take that fucking Jamaican tobacco out of your mouth and come upstairs. Thank you. Honestly, do I have to do everything myself? I die a little on the inside. For the record, this is, of course, downstairs.
Do I hear D'Onofrio?
She tends to carry.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Russ will sigh and say, is this something you would prefer conversation continue in private, or
Perhaps
because I
later.
hear Miss D'Onofrio downstairs?
No, I can hear her too. As soon as she enters, I'm gonna turn to her and say, "There's no way in hell anybody could mistake that voice for anyone else."
She stops, kind of smooths down the creases in her white uniform, and she just kind of strikes a pose before saying, "Damn right. I can't be imitated."
He who would try will obviously fail.
Mm-hmm. I am far too sober for this.
Well, come sit down, have a drink.
Hmm. Hang on, do we have the Saskia again?
I think so. Yes.
Yep. So this woman, D'Onofrio does not walk as much as she stalks. It's almost like a predatory cat.
Actually, power walk. Bam, bam,
beg your
bam.
pardon?
The power walks like bam, bam, bam.
She's dressed as pictured. She wears an immaculate white uniform. She wears white gloves. There's this kind of, her eyes are an otherworldly, almost golden color with very, very odd slit irises. Very, once again, cat-like. But she will indeed walk over to the table before placing one hand on her hip. She will look down at Darcy. She looks Darcy up and down, and the eyes narrow. It's either in interest or in "you look delicious." It's one or the other. It's hard to tell.
Oh dear. You know, Darcy can imitate that look. I hope. I think she can at least attempt to.
What role would that be? Because that's going to be a role.
Appearance expression.
Yes, let us do appearance expression. Difficulty 6.
Okay. I don't have many dice for this. Only 5.
Yolof.
And I wasn't in the Discord yet, so. Oh, I'll give it a try.
You only live twice. Or Yolf.
I hope I have many lives. Well, there's one success, so it's not like there's still the sort of cheeky smile and the twinkling in Darcy's eyes, but she will.
So whereas D'Onofrio kind of roars at you, going, "I am lioness, hear me roar," Darcy kind of goes,
Meow. Meow.
She reaches down a gloved hand and pats her on the head and basically says, "It's all right, dear. You tried. It's all right." Whiskey, neat, single malt, poof.
Evan, with Life 2, can you change your vocal cords?
Yes.
May I attempt to do so?
What exactly? How are you trying to change them?
To kind of perfectly mimic her voice.
Oh dear. Yes. Yes, you may. Roll
Okay.
that sweet, sweet arete.
I'm just gonna let this play out.
That's a fail. Nothing happens.
You can roll again.
Okay. I don't know what the diff is.
Also, that's not also that the first one is a fail. The diff would be it's 3 plus 2 is 5. Are you using any instruments or are you just doing it?
I'm just doing it, so.
In that case,
I mean,
it would be diff 5, which means you need another success in order to kick off the effect, and another a success for duration in order for it to last.
Okay, so I have 1 success.
Yep.
I fail. I keep failing, man. Come on. Oh, that's good. That's 3 successes.
Okay, yes. You will now sound like D'Onofrio when you speak.
So what was the last thing that she said? You did try?
She said, it's all right, dear. At least you tried.
And Darcy will just look up and in that same tone of voice, he'll say, well, it's trying that matters most, does it not? After all, what is success?
She looks down, looks you in the eyes narrow, something that is far, far out of your grasp. It's all right though. She looks down. She pinches your cheeks, like she reaches down her fingers under your cheeks and kind of puckers your face ever so slightly. And she looks down. She says, "At least you're cute." Before she lets you go.
Yes, I am.
Right. So, what are we drinking to, or are we just drinking because fuck it?
I was kind of here to just, I don't know, drink some really fucking strong coffee.
Right, well, I'm about to strengthen your coffee. She says she dumps a ridiculous quantity of whiskey into it. Just dump.
Should look at it. Sure. Dink.
Oh, by the way, because I suppose I should actually be polite. It's nice to meet you. My name is Alexandra D'Onofrio, Bonnie Flambeau of the Order of Hermes. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I am Darcy Ellsworth of Nothing Yet, and, well, it's nice to make your acquaintance.
Seeing what D'Onofrio did to Eliza's coffee, Roars is going to place a hand over his code red.
She just slams back the shot. By the way, D'Onofrio basically said, "When you're done with for Sam, when you're done with your funny tobacco, come upstairs. I'm too sober for this." As she walked in.
Rory finishes his joint and heads up as instructed.
Darcy will finish their champagne and we'll order
Roars is
another
going
one.
to sniff the air and say, "Somebody smells like college."
Never went.
Well, you definitely smell like it.
I have
Though
fear
it
for
could
the
be the Jamaican that you have that you just smoked, and the rest you have in your pocket.
I
Or
have
is that
fear for
Colombia?
any educational institution that would allow Mr. Rory to join their acclaimed number.
Yeah.
If it helps, he is at least somewhat passable at the physical applications of the mystical arts, though chanting was never his thing.
It's just so hard to remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he does look cute.
He smiles. He does.
So,
I believe
Miss
his
Hawk.
appearance specialty is captivating.
So, Miss Hawk,
Oh,
I've got
he's
a
staying
question.
free now.
Why is it that your aura looks as if something died on the inside of your soul?
I mean, I figured that these days that's a general look for me.
I'm led to understand that my entire order owes you a debt. I'm not saying something.
Oh, if only. But something akin to that.
Well, we don't forget, Miss Hoth.
I need to have a word with Mr. Gallo at some point.
Why?
Right, will he submit it, right?
She kind of looks at Rory, kind of quirks an eyebrow, and she says, "Have I read something you submitted?"
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that. Yes. What's wrong with it? It was a report he wrote for the Horizon Council.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Look, it's not something I would discuss in a public place like this, and it also brings the mood rather down. So
D'Onofrio kind of raises a single gloved finger because D'Onofrio is painfully direct. And she will look at Rory and she'll say, "You've read Gallo's report, haven't you?"
Yeah. Yeah, I read it.
Yeah. Is it horrendously? Is there something wrong with it?
I could see how some people might see it as unfairly maligning the Dene.
Right.
And other cultures.
Miss Hoth. Okay. Am I about to hear the fact that we have in some way caused you some great, deep, meaningful offense to which you are somewhat stricken?
probably not a meaningful. But look, I would really rather not discuss this publicly. If I could meet you and talk to you then, that'd be great. But it's like I said to a gentleman that just came early, it's a personal matter.
Fuck. All right. I'll tell you what. In that case, I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. Nope. Absolutely no idea.
Well then, I am not taking away your evening because obviously, and she looks at the whiskey in her cup, you also need this.
Yes. Unfortunately, once again, regardless of what happened, regardless who's right and who's wrong in this particular situation, we have a bunch of dead bodies. And unfortunately, whenever there are a bunch of dead bodies, the Order tends to get very prickly about the fact of, well, why are these bodies no longer living?
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm well aware. Don't worry. And I'm not saying I'm more sad than angry, honestly. But it's a thing. It happens. It can be talked about. We're all semi-sane people.
My one issue, she'll say as she knocks back the whiskey before filling it up again, is how in the name sweet loving Beelzebub did he get out of the bloody coffin?
People let him out. I think there's some sort of ritual.
Yes, but I'm saying, who did? Where did? What? Why now? Where did it happen? I mean, obviously it happened in the college, but my point is that they wouldn't just crack open something like that so quickly. Somebody knew what was in there, and someone opened it.
Yeah.
Because even, do you remember that? Do you remember that black sarcophagus they found in Egypt a few months ago?
No.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
It took them about 8 months to work out if they were going to be willing to open it.
Perhaps
So
somebody was impatient.
perhaps, but it all just seems so, I don't know, forced.
Asinine?
Asinine is also a decent term for it, I suppose.
Well, all I know is that there's a building of my college that is not there anymore.
Yeah, we're going to work on that. And by we're going to work on that, I mean the Order's going to make some gold, sell it, and give them on the college the money.
That works.
On a side note, Adept, you did not hear me say that we are going to make gold because the Order generally frowns on that sort of thing.
I heard nothing.
Excellent.
But if you want to know what happened, can't you just look back in time?
I was thinking about doing that.
It's apparently been tried, and the way it was phrased to me is the person who attempted to do it is currently, well, they had to sieve his brains up. They had to get his brains up off the ground with a spoon. And somebody put some kind of protection there because they didn't want people to see what happened.
Interesting.
Well, that sucks.
Mordred would be powerful enough to do that.
Yeah, but just freshly awakened, I don't think he would have had the wherewithal.
I'm sorry, did you say Mordred or Modred?
A drought.
Okay, for a minute there I thought you guys had found the illegitimate son of Arthur.
We did.
Mordred, son of Morgana Le Fay.
Yeah,
The Black Knight?
he's not the Black Knight. That's someone else.
I mean, his sword is black.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's the Sword of Peace. It's Clarence.
No, what was he referred to as? The Traitor Knight. That's it.
Yeah.
Look, I really don't care. All I know is that I had a very special conversation with the man. I received the report.
Have you heard that, by the way, I assume that Rory would have told D'Onofrio about Mordred's demand.
Yes.
Have you heard he's given his terms for peace to the Order?
I imagine they're not very peaceful.
She gestures to Rory. You can tell them.
66 tiers. One for each of the apprentices, the Danae apprentices murdered in the genocide. Or homicide? Domicide? And one of those tiers must be from Mr. Gallo.
Shed with real emotion.
Heartfelt tears.
That's surprisingly peaceful.
It's also bloody impossible.
I don't think so.
The problem is that I'm not a scholar, I'm not a historian, I don't know what happened, but the Order has been told for centuries that we went in there and wiped out infernalist, blood-worshipping, human-sacrificing nut jobs, practically.
Hey, Evan, out of character. Would you like somebody to show up right now?
Not now, but maybe later.
Okay.
No, Eliza, with each word that she's saying, kind of makes a sour and more sour face.
Look, Miss Hobb, I'm not saying it's necessarily true, but this is what's been fed for so long that even a lie becomes truth after a given point.
I am well aware of the Order's official stance on this matter. I am well aware of the Order's official stance on this matter. It's ridiculous how aware I am of this stance.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason that we did not go and meet, no offense, the only reason you and Miss Lossie have been given as much leeway as you have been is because the Celestial Chorus's seat of Prime decided to personally interject himself into the matter.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't help that afterwards we kind of helped reality a couple of times.
I mean, technically. She actually says that smiling. You can see that she's not being a bitch.
Technically. Also, according to the Society of Heifer, I am expendable.
Well, if it helps, Rory is eminently expendable, but then again, he tries to expend himself on a nearly nightly basis.
I figure you only live once.
Not strictly true, but we're working on it.
I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, turn to Darcy, and see how she's reacting to this entire situation.
I think, honestly, Darcy is kind of tuned out of the conversation. She's just checking her phone because this shit goes way above her level of understanding anything right now.
She shrugs, and takes another sip. Look, here's what I've decided. This is a personal matter, one very deep and nearly to my heart, and as such, I will undertake this before anything else. And I realize that's incredibly selfish, but that is my decision.
No, it's understandable. Right. I'm going to go read over this report again.
If you have anything, just seek me out. I'll answer. I'll fill in the blanks of the other side, if you will.
Right. All right. Rory, stay here, drink, be social. I will see you tomorrow.
Okay.
You can see
Rory,
she walks out massaging her temple.
I don't know. I didn't mean to make you work tonight.
Too late. Unfortunately, when you have to deal with this shit cluster of shitwads, you have to work every night. Both of those are the biological term, I assure you.
Flask of whiskey, poof, and just lets a flask of whiskey appear in her hand and throws it after her.
She will catch it before leaving the room. Marcus, you will run into a rather attractive lady on the stairs. This one's fully clothed, though.
Saints be praised you've got pants on.
What?
Can we hear that from upstairs?
Yes.
Rosa is going to say, did somebody just ask if D'Onofrio had pants on?
What?
I swear I just heard somebody ask if D'Onofrio, or was praising the Saints that D'Onofrio had pants on.
I feel like there's going to be an explosion in less than 1 minute.
At this moment, there's an explosion. Duncan will enter the room in true anime style, singed but not permanently harmed, as he is thrown to the door via a self-contained fireball that erupts from her hand in order to impact him in the chest. He will land on a table, breaking it spectacularly in true slapstick style, a pie landing directly on his head.
Gross is going to go over to D'Onofrio and say, your aim is much better than my master's.
She grumbles something about sexist pricks before leaving.
That went much better than I thought it would. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I don't have knowledge about the loss of causality, but I am still a prophet, it seems.
Russell will walk over and look at him and say, I don't know what you said to D'Onofrio, but do not say it again if you value your skin.
All I said was that she had pants on. The last 4 attractive women that I ran into, they had no pants. It was scary.
Oh, I see. D'Onofrio probably thought that you meant that she should be wearing a skirt. I heard her mention something about sexist male assholes before she left, so that could be it as well.
It's just a bit of fire.
You're not just a bit of fire. You're not a Teftani, are you?
What's that?
Is my craft.
You're a what?
My craft. I am of the Teftani craft.
Okay. I'm Duncan.
Are you a tradition mage?
That's the rumor. That's what the paperwork says. Yes.
I see. You must not know about the Disparate Alliance, then. The established you are in.
Wait. Oh no. I'm well aware of said alliance and its leader.
1 second.
You've met Gravedigger.
Are you being smart to this lovely young man, you donny wee bastard?
No, I'm not. And you'll shut your hole. I'm trying to introduce myself.
Back in my day, I'd have you slapped over me knee in 7 ways to Sunday, I would.
and you'd have enjoyed every slap because you're a sadistic woman.
You only hear his side of this conversation, I should emphasize, so he just keeps blurting out these random statements.
Russ is going to look over to Nazir. Do you see anything, my friend?
No. I see a man who has obvious psychological issues in Shadiq.
I could put up Spirit Sight to see for sure, but I really don't want to right now. Besides, it'd be rude in the prince's domain. I do not like casting magic in his domain.
There's a prince
Eliza
now.
will finish up her whiskey-infused coffee. It's like, yep.
Rose will look over to Marcus.
Regular Tuesday.
Rose will look over to Marcus's character and will say, the establishment you are in is the personal domain of the Prince of Dubai, who is also the leader of the Teftani craft in this city of Dublin. He is not the head of the Disparate Alliance, that is Gravedigger, but the Teftani are a part of the Disparate Alliance.
You mean that smart-ass Englishman? That one?
I thought he was half English, half Japanese. Or is he half Chinese?
He's half Chinese.
I get that confused sometimes. He's actually half English, half Chinese, but he is still kind of a smart thing, but I wouldn't say that in his presence. They call him Gravedigger for a reason.
Last time I met the lad, he shot himself. Not shot himself, he shot himself.
Sounds about right.
So who are you lot then?
I'm Roro Sokozari.
Do I have to say all that whenever I talk to you, or do you just have a smaller version?
Pardon?
Do I have to say all that when I greet you, or is there a smaller version?
My first name is Roro.
Don't be mean to the Moor. He's a genuine good bonny lad.
What the fuck?
How may have you telling me how to speak to people? Excuse me. Man. Roros, then. Yes. I can say that. Yeah.
At present, I am not very high up in my order, but I specialize in the traditional things of my craft.
Long Island iced tea, poof.
Would you care for some Code Red? It's quite good. He'll hold up this golden chalice that's filled with a red liquid.
Is he holding that out to the Duncan?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I brought whiskey.
If there's anything you desire, you merely speak it aloud and say poof, and it will appear for you.
But I brought my own whiskey.
If you don't want to use it, you could have your own magically created.
Ensuring people who I'm related to would roll over in their graves were I not to drink what I brought with me.
I see. Is there anything you would care to eat? Speak of it and it will appear.
Fancy a nice steak. I hear the Irish know how to make a good steak. I hear. I've heard.
I keep thinking of poor Uncle Argyle. He went up with his still.
And the rest of you folk.
Elazarhoff. Hi.
Nice to meet you, Mom. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. You broke a table.
I did. Actually, the table broke my fall.
You have a hard head.
I have a lot of things. Lots of practice, yes.
What?
I'm
The only
sure.
thing that he has soft is where it matters. He isn't even a real man.
You call this a regular Tuesday?
This is absolutely a regular Tuesday, sadly. Look.
Oh, boy.
Loros will nod his head. All that is missing is the sudden extraplanar entity, and we'll be set.
But watch out for Thursdays. Usually the apocalypse happens on Thursdays. And you may think I'm joking, but I'm actually not. I've been keeping count. Most of the apocalypses that we've had so far all happen on Thursdays.
This place is kind of like Sunnydale, where we keep having to redefine the term apocalypse.
I watched that on the Wi-Fi. The Buffy. Seen it.
Yes, no. You watched it for the ladies, not the Buffy. Jesus.
My motivation should not be questioned, Gran. Trust me.
Not questioning your motivation. I'm questioning what you did in the bathroom afterwards.
Like, I have a question, good sir. Are you talking to yourself, or are you talking to someone else that is with you?
I'm talking to my Gran.
Gotcha. Takes another sip of the Long Island iced tea.
Darcy's going to look at Eliza again. He's bonkers, isn't he?
Oh, quite possibly.
Okay.
And we spoke. We made an agreement. You'd never mention what I was doing, what I was after in that bathroom after that certain episode, seeing Willow in that outfit. Yes, we spoke about that. I remember.
On the side note, Max, are you out of character referencing what I will lovingly refer to as evil, sexy Willow?
Of course, indeed.
Excellent. Continue.
Ross will just say, Willow in the... Oh, you're talking about Vampire Willow. Or are you talking about the episode where she switches places with Vampire Willow?
Both had the same effect, actually.
Oh God, I'm gonna die. 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 Not feel lynched. Gonna die. Hi.
Ross is going to look over. Is this the girl from the before?
Yes.
Ross will go.
Hello, reality deviants.
You're not supposed to call us that in our own home.
Eliza will spit out her long drink Long Island iced tea.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
And slowly turn to this lady.
Ross is going to say, yes, this is the technocrat that did not die when the prisoner exchange happened. I believe she was adopted by Lottie.
What?
I think it was Lottie.
Yes, Miss Lottie is lovely. I'm here to. Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm here to give you a message. Oh God, I'm gonna die.
Whoa! Calm down. Are you okay? Do you need breathe in? Okay.
I believe Lottie was working on those exercises with her as well.
For the record, she hasn't been staying with Lottie or anything like that. She went home.
I thought Lottie adopted her. So.
Yeah, I would have known if she were staying with Lottie, because that means she'd be staying with me.
Okay. Let's start at the beginning. I've already said the part about reality deviants. You didn't like that, so I'll mouse over the rest of it. My name is Dr. Michelle L'Angelique of the New World Order. Hello. Um, um,
Eliza's going to stand up and walk towards her.
oh God, don't hurt me.
What?
You're rather progressive, aren't you?
Define progressive.
As in trying to... You're... I'm aware that we are not currently participating against each other in the Ascension War. But to just walk into this place, that's something.
Technically, it's because Aegis decided that I needed to give you a message personally, and they thought the personal touch might be necessary. But then again, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here, and I think I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
We're all dead eventually. But look, you're not dead now. You're alive. You're not gonna die.
Why
Not
would you
yet.
die?
So breathe easily.
Because us and you have spent the last 350 years killing each other.
Look.
Oh, you're
know?
like the Israel. Yeah.
She is a member of the Deceivers.
Look, do you want something to drink? To put
Oh,
your mind
God.
at ease.
Okay, I better give you this though first officially, and like I don't know. Here, have a thing. She juts her data pad out in front of her.
She will carefully. No, she can't do that. She's gonna put her goggles on and just look through them for like 10 seconds, and then see if it's all clear, and then carefully get the data pad from her.
Would you like some alcohol or perhaps some chamomile tea?
Or you could add rum to your chamomile tea and have both.
I like this plan. I like this plan that involves rum.
Roros will hold out his hands and he will say, 1 cup of rum-infused chamomile tea, please. Poof.
All right, as Eliza takes the tablet, all of you guys will see it start to a small glowing orb at the center of it brighten to a quite a bright light, almost like a fluorescent light. But forming out of the fluorescent light, a heartbeat or so later, you will see. There we go.
Oh,
Good evening, Dr. Hoth.
wow. This is something. It's been a while.
Have you met Aegis before? I think you have.
Yeah.
It is a pleasure to see you again.
It depends. I don't think we left in as great a circumstance when we last met.
No, you were currently at that point attempting to pry technocracy property from my control, however. With a subpar system, need I add.
I will fight you.
You also didn't design the system. That was technically Iscariot and Eidolon.
True. She's working on that.
Interesting. Rose Alcazari. Darcy Ellsworth, and I have no information on this one. Interesting. No information found. Fascinating.
The Deceivers know about me. Should I be honored or worried?
I can tell you your net worth, the date of your birth, the net worth of your family, their known business contacts and acquaintances, the last cell number your mother dialed.
If we were not under an ideal of peace, I would think that would be a threat against my family. And the smell of ozone that's typically around Roros gets sharper.
I'm merely pointing out the facts. No threat was intended.
All right, Aegis, what message do you have for us?
It's rather simple, Dr. Hoff. I really wish to inform you that the Technocratic Supreme Council has determined that you were not involved in the execution of Dr. Malencroft. Thus it is, the peace treaty still stands. I believe...
Out of character, Evan. Dr. Malencroft is not Dr.
No, not the same person.
Okay.
I believe Mr. Alcazari was there at the time of his execution.
You mean when the outsiders shot him through the head? I mean, yes, I was there, yes.
Indeed. So, the peace treaty continues. We also wish to engage the 9 mystical traditions in the possibility of a joint endeavor in order to rid ourselves of the collective threat known as the True Way.
I'm sure that the council will agree to talks to that point, yes.
Wonderful. The presence of the group led by former operative Cypher 9 is indeed a real and credible threat.
I am well aware of that.
I am glad.
I will patch you through the Admiral if need be.
Agreeable.
I may be the representative of the Society of FIFA in Dublin, but what I can actually do is apparently very limited.
Well, my message has been delivered. Interesting. I waged that there was a 33% chance that my messenger would expire before entering due to some kind of coronary collapse. It would appear as though I was incorrect.
Laz is going to look over at the lady whose name she's already forgotten because it was hellishly long.
Dr. Angelique.
Dr. Angelique, okay. She has still forgotten the name.
That's fine.
And says, I can see your calculations.
In that case, I shall bid you good evening, Miss Hoff, Mr. Alcazari, Miss Ellsworth, unknown factor.
Evening.
Before...
She'll simply say good evening.
The light will then collapse back into the little square of metal.
Eliza will hand the data pad back to Angelique,
who is currently sipping calming tea and booze. She is no longer she's no longer shaking visibly, but she looks wigged out.
Here.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Why poof?
Some of the people here enjoy.
The word poof.
I also think the prince has a bit of a sense of humor.
Don't worry, it's weird. I get that all the time. I'm still kind of new.
Oh, that's nice. I'm not new per se. I've just not ever really encountered you people before.
You've never really talked to reality deviants, is that it? Eliza's just going
No.
to sit straight in front of her.
No. I'm not really a field operative, but, these things happen, I guess.
Yeah, you don't have to build.
Yes, I remember you mentioned that last time.
I was sent I was transferred here from another department, so I was formerly prompting the rise of various different forms of political organizations in order to destabilize central governments. That was my forte.
Good to know. Must be quite a job.
I mean, they mostly had me do it in South American countries, and they have revolts at the drop of a hat, so it's not that hard.
Okay, so you were not good at your job?
No,
That's also fine.
I was
like-
doing my job in an easy place, I guess. Sips tea.
Okay.
You're not making your
So-
public standing any better.
Oh,
What sort of shit did you have to do then?
the standard, I suppose. Propaganda, influencing the mental masses, subliminal messaging, subliminal suggestion, hypnotic rewriting, standard stuff.
Cool. So, did you at least have a nice hotel there? I mean, South America is sort of rising when it comes to tourism, but there's still a lot of things that they have to work on. But,
I mean, I was working, so we tend to have rooms in the constructs, but it wasn't bad. I like Rio.
oh my God, have you been to the carnival there? That sounds just amazing.
I'm more of an indoor person. The concept of all those people cavorting around kind of scares me.
Oh, now I get why Lottie adopted her.
Blink, blink.
And she just puts a hand on her shoulder and squeezes it and grins when she says, "Good luck." And just starts drinking from her Long Island iced tea again.
Hey, Max, you want to make me a stamina check?
Sure.
It's going to be difficulty 6.
This can't possibly go wrong.
Right?
Easy.
What you get?
2 successes.
Okay, you're not drunk. You're kind of tipsy then.
Oh yeah, no, that's the entire point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the entire point. Just throughout the evening, she's just gonna get hammered. That's been the entire goal of her so far.
But needless to say, I'm not really used to being a field agent yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm still working on it.
I'm sure you'll do a fine job. So what is it that a field agent needs to do?
Up until recently, it was kill you people.
Okay, and now, because I take it there's a change in curriculum.
Currently, we're overseeing certain activities as it relates to my previous department.
Okay. So basically, you're doing the job that checks on the job that you already know. So you must be doing one hell of a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
She brightens up like, yay, the evil reality deviant said I was doing a good job.
Glass of champagne to celebrate? As Darcy, has the bottle and a glass.
Thank you.
Cool.
Horace just sips his code red like, oh, there's an usurper sitting here. Interesting.
Today's an interesting day.
Not a usurper, I meant a deceiver. Sorry about that.
Not only is she a deceiver, she only said, yeah, my last job was toppling democratically elected governments.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's totally something that New World Order does, for the record.
The Teftani call them deceivers for different reasons, but yeah.
I know.
It's like
Darcy will pour a glass of champagne for the deceiver.
Roris is going to turn to Nazir and he's going to say to him in Arabic, would you please let the prince and the emir know that we have a deceiver guest in our midst that needs some comforting?
Yeah. If it helps, I really never liked what they did to the Electrodyne engineers, or the difference probability. What was it they used to call the virtual adapts? It was difference engineers.
No, it was still just the virtual adapts.
I don't think it was. They used to have a different name.
I don't remember.
It was something like the difference engine something or something like that, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. I need to look at the democracy again.
I'm googling it at the moment because I want to use the correct term. 1 second, because this is actually a point of interest to me. Yeah, they were called the difference engineers. I was right. Sorry, I just looked them up on the wiki. Difference engineers. I never really liked how they treated the Electrodyne engineers or the difference engineers.
Oh, well, I'm sure that they felt really comforted by that.
It was just a shame that ether was never a viable scientific principle.
You know, maybe you should just enjoy your champagne. Like, Darcy doesn't understand half of those words, but this is like, yeah.
But you know, like the vein on Eliza's forehead is like ding, 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 ding.
Oh, okay. I'll just enjoy the champagne.
Good. You're really good at following orders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no imagination at all.
Shh. Kicks under the table.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was never really good at imagination. But then again, if you stray too wildly from the blueprint or just throw it out the window, you get catastrophe. You're not sure if that was a dig or if that's what she honestly believes. It could be either one or the other, because she didn't say it with any perceived malice.
So, how about we get some food in here as well? Aren't you hungry, Eliza? I know I am. How about strawberries? They go nice with champagne.
Strawberries are just fine.
Okay. We would like some strawberries and whipped cream. Poof!
They do indeed poof.
Darcy's like, distraction, distraction. This is something I can run. I can run distraction. So, no, that won't work. As Darcy was about to, introduce the game of truth or dare, but then realized that with this like scared chick that manages to keep saying the wrong things and Eliza at the same table, that might not be a very good idea. Does anyone have pets?
Yeah, I have a little cat.
Oh, that's so cute. What's his name? Is it just called Cat?
No, her name's Raftel.
Raftel. Okay. Rather unusual name, but cool. I like it. Do you have pictures?
I do actually. Hold on. And she scrunches through her phone as I pull up a picture of her cat. I just need to find it. It'll take a sec. Ah, there it is.
Oh wow, you put sunglasses on him.
No, that's something he wanted.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he asked for it.
I've never heard of a cat that asks for sunglasses. As Darcy will, pour down a glass of champagne and will pour herself another one.
Most assistants can talk.
Assistants. Your cat is your assistant.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You know, I'd like to think that I could read Little Bonsai's mind, but turns out I can't. Well,
I mean,
maybe yet.
you just have to keep doing your thing. I'm sure you'll get away with it. And she'll take another sip of her Long Island iced tea.
I mean, I get away with a lot.
If you'd like, I can. If you'd like, I can uplift your cat.
Is she saying that to Mar?
I think that Darcy said she wants to read her cat's mind. So she
It's
says,
not a
if you
cat.
want, I can. Oh,
I'm pretty
she
sure
assumes
Darcy
it
has
is.
a Chihuahua.
I can uplift your pet if you'd like.
Uplift?
Give it human level intelligence.
Oh.
Wouldn't be hard.
I did not realize that was a thing. And although I would like for him not to pee in my Louis Vuitton bag, I'm not quite sure if I would want him with human intelligence, really. But thanks for the offer. Very kind of you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
There's just this awkward thing here.
Shit. So do you have pets? As Darcy will look at the girl, woman, whatever thing in armor.
It's not necessarily armor. It's more so like support gear and whatever else. But she shakes her head and she goes, "No." Though I did transfer my lab assistant's brain into a cat.
Why?
Does that count? To see if I could.
I thought you people didn't stray away from the mundane.
That's entirely dependent on what you consider to be the mundane.
Isn't that a little mad science?
Did at least your assistant agree to it? Darcy is looking absolutely horrified. What?
He was asleep at the time.
So you basically put his brain in a cat, and you didn't even ask him for permission?
He signed the waiver.
I'm sure he didn't sign for his brain to be put in a cat.
He signed a release of bodily function and services contract with the union.
But isn't that after you die? At least?
No.
Darcy will just look at Eliza like, what?
Yep, and they call us savages, right?
Wow. This is not actually a thing.
Look, I'm gonna be straight, right? And I'm getting on drunk for me to not be straight in this case. How are you actually doing, Angelique, with this whole peace thingy? Because I'll be frank, I'm very happy that we're not shooting each other on sight.
Can I be honest and you're not going to hurt me?
I will try.
Oh, okay. Inevitably, we're going to win. And what's more, ultimately, you know that. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It really doesn't. Ultimately, we have the manpower We have the expertise. We have the consensus. So I hope that you would just come to this realization that you don't have to be destroyed. You can just surrender.
And be part
Um,
of a gray train without any free thought, without any sort of imagination, to
Where
just
you're
be a little wearing a little collar being tucked along by a computer. Fuck that.
and where your brains are going to be put into cats.
You notice that Roros is like dead silent as she says all that.
Look, ultimately, what you can do, she does the whole kind of boogity 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 boo magic spirit fingers. Ultimately, that's nice. And yeah, you've cost us a few agents, but realistically, idX can build a gun that does the exact same as your finger waving, and give it to an ordinary person on the street, and it'll work. Because they accept that. It's
Why?
only a matter of time.
Why would you want that?
Okay, I don't know you, Miss Ellsworth, but I'm just going to tell you something that, and I'm sure that Dr. Hoth is going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But the Union were the ones who started to do things like vaccinations, the eradication of diseases, modernization, the understanding of technology, bringing human. We were inadvertently directly responsible for the Renaissance.
You people were also responsible for hunting down those who were healing people with magic instead of using vaccinations. So you put the populace into a position where they wouldn't trust us. You lied to them, you deceivers. And then they only had the choice to go to you, as all of us were being hunted down and executed.
The world
So,
changed it. I
no,
mean,
you created a situation where only you benefited. You must understand this, or you will never grow as an individual.
I think that it's you who really don't understand humanity.
Uh,
Humanity will always advance. Humanity always strives. And you guys, regardless what you think about yourselves, represent the vestiges of the past.
Wow, no, I'm quite in the here and now. I follow the latest trends. Shut up.
Ross will actually stand up and walk out, and you're fairly certain you see electricity crackling around him as he walks out.
Look, I ain't saying that what has happened is wrong, because let me tell you, vaccinations are great. Someone who's probably in this room, the closest line of thinking that you guys have. Not on all levels you're wrong, but on a whole lot of levels, you ain't right either. You're not right either.
Well, you asked me my opinion on the war. Miss Hoth gave it to you.
No, I asked your opinion on the whole peace talk, the whole peace thingy. I
Well,
didn't ask your opinion on our status. I didn't ask you to, well, that, but I guess it can be interpreted that way.
that's my bad. But look, she stands up. I delivered my message, and one way or another, that's how I feel. I'm sure that there
And
are some people on your side who know and accept the fact that the war, well, ultimately, it's only a matter of time. We have time, but I don't want people to die.
you're
I don't understand why you don't just surrender.
you're incredibly naive.
I mean, I don't think anyone wants anyone to die, really. But I think that, and I don't know anything yet about this entire war thing. But if two dogs fight, then that two dogs need to make up. which means that if you're a naughty person and you're a naughty person, you probably both did something naughty, and you probably will both have to do something right to each other. It's not always one-sided. It's always not one-sided.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you. Well, I may see you again. I might not. But needless to say, you know our opinion, Dr. Hoff.
I know it.
I didn't
Uh,
support. I didn't support
I
Cypher
don't-
9 and the Morpheus Project, for the record, because it was monstrous. Because I believe that we're the great hope for humanity.
And then you put brains in cats.
No, she did it the other way around. But you know what? We're all enlightened here, in a manner of speaking. We have far too hard heads about this.
Yeah.
So you go on, carry on, and just, as you say, eventually you'll just kill us, like you've always do.
I don't want that, Dr.
Yeah.
Hoff. You're twisting my words.
Then
Yeah.
don't do it. You don't want something, you don't do it.
It's all right.
I too vote for not killing.
It's all right. I'm well aware of how you people do things. Just as you're well aware of how we do things. It's fine. It's fine. It's so fine. She finishes up her Long Island iced tea.
I was about to say, do you want another iced tea? But
She turns and she leaves.
So I thought they were on our side now.
No, we're just
that makes
not.
sense.
We're just not fighting.
So when if one was to try and strike up a friendship with me, I should be a total arse then, yeah.
I don't think you should be a total arse. That just aggravates things more. It's just this thing is temporary and everybody knows it.
Well, why? Who says that?
Both sides.
Well, if you go into something full of shite, both of you, then it's just a bunch of shite. But if you actually mean it, it could be a thing, couldn't it?
1 second. We're going to let Bishop intro before we continue this deep philosophical discussion.
Yeah. Theodos enters the area. I don't know where we are.
We're in Agrabah Nights.
I PM'd you that shit. Pay attention when you're in the
I don't
meetings.
know what that is. I don't.
You've been. It's the Teftani bar. You have been taken here at least once.
Okay. All right.
And you're very, very quiet.
It's never mind. It's fine. So yeah. That guy, a fairly young-looking man, in fairly plain-looking clothes, enters. You're using a walking stick. He appears to be limping fairly heavily, or leaning on the stick rather, like pretty heavily. Like he's not. Obviously, he has some sort of issue with at least one of his legs.
Look, the thing about this is we've been at war. The two sides have been at war since the fucking Dark Ages.
Yeah, I've heard for like 2,000 years. I know. But that bitch was just dense.
Look, she is vehemently believing in her side of the fucking view, and it's all about big picture. It's big picture, big picture, big picture with them, right? There's no room for little picture. There's no room for free thought. There's no room for free expression. It's controlled expression, controlled environment, controlled everything. And whilst that's nice up to a certain degree, like vaccine, like healthcare, like the Renaissance, the darker side of that not counted, because there was a darker side to the Renaissance, let's be fair. It's the same shit. Because it was them that was in the Crusades. It was them that did all of that.
I'm sure. Renaissance, that's like from the Renaissance fairs, right? I've heard about those.
Yeah, like Golden Ages and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I never really paid much attention in school.
It's alright.
So, I assure you, Miss Hart, they were not the only ones who were involved at the point in time in the Crusades.
A lot of people were involved in the Crusades, Father.
Oh, Crusades. We're talking about Crusades. Fantastic. I'm good at that.
Walking in behind Theodos, you will see this man. He is not particularly tall or imposing. He stands at about 5'9", 5'10". He's very thin. He has the same kind of black hair, or the brown hair that's shown there, and he is indeed dressed in a priest's cassock. My apologies, I did not mean to interrupt your conversation.
That's fine. We just had a member of the New World Order join us a little bit ago. We had a very fun philosophical discussion about our two viewpoints now that we're at peace.
Well, I mean, what's wrong with us just trying to make it work?
Nothing.
Just ceasefire.
There's nothing wrong with trying to make it work. I'm just saying it's not going to work.
Oh, my apologies. Who are my terrible manners? He will extend his hand to Theodos first, because he's standing nearest him.
Oh. Hello, Theodos Crane.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Master Crane. And you, sir? He will say, extending his hand to Duncan.
Duncan Campbell, Isle of Skye. Good to meet you, Father.
I've been to the Isle of Skye. It's very beautiful there.
See?
And you, young lady?
Oh, I'm Darcy Ellsworth. Darcy Ellsworth.
I thought you were saying Darcy asshole or something.
What?
She has fame. Do we recognize her?
It depends. Do you follow popular music?
No.
You know where my character's from?
No.
No.
This is why I didn't even bother to say it in front of you, crowd of fuckwits. I mean, I can just see Theodos bopping out to the latest cane and all on the dance floor at a rave. The fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, they may have heard of her father because he owns like a very big hotel brand, like Ellsworth Hotels. So
she is in fact Paris Hilton. Accept it. Move on. It's
fine.
But he will say, "My name is Archbishop Matteo de Calvorne. I suppose that I am somewhat well. Yes, it is a pleasure to meet you all." Anyone wants to roll intelligence mage lore about him, you can.
I don't have to.
Unless you know him.
And I don't think I have mage lore yet. That would be incredibly quick to pick up on things like local mage celebrities and shit.
So, as he's introducing himself, the partition at the back where Roros disappeared will open up, and coming back in, wreathed in electricity, smelling very strongly of ozone. And one more thing, you little... Oh, she left.
All right.
At which point the electricity will vanish.
I'm meant to understand, Master Al-Khazari, that something may have upset you ever so slightly.
Rurus will sigh and will say, "Yes, Father. Little Miss Deceiver thinks she knows everything, seemed to blame our side for the fact that vaccines needed to be invented when they in fact created the circumstances that required them to do that."
And for Bishop, he is not just famous, he is incredibly famous. He is Archbishop de Calvornay. He is the current seat of Prime on the New Horizon Council. Basically, the seat is each one of the spheres has a seat that represents them as kind of like the voice of the sphere.
Yeah, basically, a super powerful mage sits on the seat and is effectively the voice of that particular tradition on the council.
Yep. So he is essentially the voice of the Celestial Course.
Nice. I'm so
I
proud.
apologize for my.
So
I apologize for my lack of decorum.
1 second, Brett. What was the last thing you said? I didn't quite hear you.
Oh, I just said nice. I'm so far out of my fucking depth.
He's also, as Max will tell you, he's also like probably my second nicest NPC, so you're kind of lucky.
Yay.
Yeah.
I do apologize for my lack of decorum, Archbishop. I do trust you are well this evening.
See. Though it is rather disconcerting when it is you have the entirety of the needs of a demographic, a sphere to take care of, but these things do happen.
You wear it quite well, I must say.
There was much rebuilding to do after the Canticles of Lamentation caused such havoc among the chorus. However, we are slowly rebuilding.
Well,
not accepted that.
What I'm wondering about, what I'm after, is us all coming together as more of a community. Takes the village, it does. I grew up in one. I know these things.
Indeed. And what is it you would recommend for this new community in that case, Master Campbell?
Well, you've got to get the headmen or the head people, everyone together to understand what the issues are, right? And then you talk about them amongst yourselves, and you do the best you can to make everyone the least annoyed.
Allow me to ask you a question. He says he'll actually get down. He'll sit down on one of the large cushions. He'll even help Theodos sit down if Theodos has a problem sitting down with his cane. He's just that much of a nice Samaritan. But he will say, "Are you familiar with the story of King Robert the Bruce?"
He just looks at it. He doesn't say anything. He goes, "Fairly."
I see. He nods. No. He nods his head and he says, "Interesting. So, you're a man who." 1 second. So, you are a man who believes that, how to phrase it, that we should come together, and that is a very admirable concept. Now, consider the fact that we are Robert the Bruce in this situation, or rather, we are the son of Robert the Bruce, and we are faced with John Common's son. I take it you know who John Common is.
He might, but I don't.
Okay. Oh, John Common. You don't? Okay. He will explain. John Common was the famous rival of Robert the Bruce. The two men hated each other, but when Bruce wished to make his claim to the Scottish throne, he asked that Common meet him on holy ground, wherein the two could discuss the resolving of their differences amicably. Bruce stabbed Common to death on holy ground when he had a disagreement with him at these negotiations. And so it was, he was excommunicated by the church for spilling blood on holy ground. So, in many ways, it is old wounds that prevent any kind of reconciliation between us and the Technocratic Union. Insults, slights, tears that have been shed decades old, but that each one forms itself once again into a festering wound.
Also, the dicks. I get all that, but the thing is that
I come from a line of teachers. And the one thing that teachers know is, well, history is just that. It's history. It's already happened. We have to make the new thing, see? I'm not saying that what didn't happen didn't matter or whatever, but I am saying if we don't get over it, we'll never get any further than we are now.
The problem is that it's easier said than done. The future is often based in history. Rare it is that you will find something that is entirely spontaneous, segregated from the past. Everything is expanded upon what happened before. Oh no, he's finished.
Last I checked, we's the type of folk that make our own reality.
No. And is that mindset that breaks people who think of themselves as powerful. Because we ourselves influence reality. We may press reality, we may push reality, but if we ever attempt to make our own reality, reality will, I assure you, bite like no dog ever can.
I've already felt that one.
Long Island ISD, poof.
Maybe another stamina check, Div 6, or Div 7 rather.
I'll not give up the belief that a community that can come together.
Oh, and Darcy, also make me a stamina check, difficulty 6.
Oh, okay.
Evan, are you fine with me just saying that Eliza just continuously just gets more and more drunk?
Yes, I'm using this as a tool to narratively contemplate how drunk you are.
Fair enough. You dice scored.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
Nope.
Curse you, Discord.
It's been having
You
trouble.
incredibly free system that we use for our own purposes. You should work better, even though we don't pay for you. All right, I'm just going to make a GM ruling here. Eliza's plastered, Darcy's tipsy. There we go.
And that's when Discord jumped back into life.
Really?
Yep.
My ruling stands. So yes, Eliza, you're pretty much on your way. You're like, I'd kill people if I operated heavy machinery and/or a vehicle this evening.
It's good that she doesn't drive right now. Never drive when you go to bars, kids.
Nope, don't drink and drive. Drink and be driven. Because that's why you have money.
Uber to shit.
Uber doesn't exist in my homeland.
What?
Yeah,
Don't
Uber doesn't
worry.
exist in Ireland.
I'll rent a limo and we all drive back.
That's fine.
Deal. Look, all in all, it's nice. But the things she's saying, I felt sorry for this group of people and this group of people, or I felt like they were treated wrongly, or I don't really want this to continue. It's all fucking naivety. Because if she meant any of that, she would just completely withdraw from this conflict. Whatever. He's a hypocrite, just like most of them. Big picture. No, we care for humanity. We care for humanity by destabilizing the way it works, and we fucking overthrow Southern American governments like you do. bitch.
Ross actually raises glass to that.
Well, sorry. Forgive me if I have a little more hope.
It's all right. You are forgiven. Good sir, you are forgiven.
Maybe we should just have fun and, I don't know, play a game or something. Don't you maybe just do games?
It's like how I also have hope that one day I'll have more grandchildren, but then again, you're not doing anything about it, you big lummox.
I've not met a woman that can throw a punch.
Oh no, but you can throw a punch at your own nether regions when you see a red head in some kind of tight leather.
Redheads are a gift from the Lord.
For the record, I will put out once again, you only hear half of this conversation, which is what Marcus says. You can't hear the other voice.
That's incredibly creepy. Actually,
That's incredibly condescending.
Redheads are not a gift from the Lord, then.
Why are you letting Miss Prissy Pants tell you how to speak, boy?
Well, I'm not. If she says more, we'll have to have words. I'm going to get into a fight with a woman I've just met.
Nonsense! You said she's a woman who can throw hands. How do you know she can't throw hands unless you try?
I can throw tables at you if I want to.
I don't think that'd work out very well for the tables.
Well, that's not my problem. Don't be condescending about women or me. That's rude. Don't you think that's rude? She turns to the only other woman in this place right now.
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
See?
Could I ask you a favor?
Yeah, gee.
There was a ghost that asked me to find someone to tell them they were sorry for something. I was wondering if you knew the person.
What? Speak up! I can't hear you if you're whispering.
O.C. Evan. What was the surname of the individual? Can't remember out of character. Is it like Kilgrave or something?
Kinrowan.
Kilrowan, that's it.
Kilgrave is an entirely different persona.
Yeah, that's a proper syndicate right there. A descendant of Kilrowans or some such.
Do I need to make a Celtic occult roll for that, Evan?
No, they're just some fuckwit family that no one gives a fuck about.
That's right. Fuck those guys.
You know what? I'm going to introduce a thing. Hey, Marcus, they're totally your family rivals. Fuck those guys.
Did you say Kinrowan?
Oh no.
Punch him, grandson! He said the name! Punch him!
Are you with the Kinrowans then?
But no, Ghost just approached me and wanted me to apologize on her behalf.
Well, that ghost can go shite itself is what it can do. You can't trust the Kinrowan. You can't do it.
I mean, she's already dead. I don't
They'll
think
steal your cattle and befoul your daughters. They'll do it.
They'll also befoul your cattle, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, someone just fucking abandoned the whole thought of fucking peace and community.
You can't trust certain people, and they're those people. Do you know what they did to my uncle?
Do you know where I can find one?
At the bottom of a well, probably.
No. Tell him about the Kinrowan's place. That what was it? It's up near Inverness. You know, Castle. What's it called? Castle Feck. Dunshannon. No, not Dunshannon. Dunshance. Castle Dunshance. If he wants to meet a Kinrowan, he should go to Castle Dunshance.
Castle Dunshance is where those people keep themselves, and it's a dark, dank place, and you'll probably lose your soul, and your firstborn child will be born lame. These things happen.
I Google Map.
Darcy will raise her glass towards Eliza. Cheers.
Cheers.
On a side note, Marcus, I might need you to NPC certain people if I have to do this as a scene, but this might be a scene.
I'm gonna Google Map the fuck out of that.
Castle Dunchance. It's about 13 kilometers outside Inverness.
Oh, sick.
However,
Oh, stop screaming so loudly. You're making me my head hurt.
Here.
I'm sober and you're giving me a headache. But thank you.
get the tattoo, she says. Carry on for the family, she says. There'll be Kilkennies and Kinruins, she says.
Bastards.
A lot of them.
The fuck?
Why do you even hate the Kinruins anyway?
Well, let me tell you, it's all about a cow.
It was not just any cow. It was the beast of beasts.
It was a good cow. It was a lovely cow. It was a cow that we'd been breeding for years, centuries, hundreds. Anyway, point being, they felt that it was needed for a sacrifice for their gods. And since we were just islanders with a lesser Scotch, which we don't have, mind you, they took it upon themselves to have it removed with their druidic aided magic. I tell you, that's what happened.
So,
Wow,
Let
you
me get
meet
this
all
straight.
peoples of his society here.
you want to forge bridges with the technocracy, but you won't forgive the Kinruins over some issue involving a count. Forgive me, Archbishop, for engaging in the profane, but are you fucking kidding me?
Look, one, I'm Scottish, so you have to forgive me. Two, no,
I'm British, I really don't.
Oh, really?
Marcus, I'm not going to scream as loudly as screaming in the back of your head when it screams, "The English!"
So you're English, are you?
I'd like to
Well-
point out he also said British, even worse. He's claiming you.
So do you have a flag you want to plant in this place so you can have it for yourself then?
I mean, you can have that referendum whenever you want. We'll win again. In fact, I
dear.
think it was the English that voted, like, that wanted you guys out more than you guys wanted to be out. That was weird to me. That was very strange.
See, this is what I talk.
What to the face?
See, this
I'll
is what
not-
I'm talking about when people when this is all gonna end up going to shit.
No,
I mean,
But
wasn't
rules
there
don't lie,
something
but maybe
about
that's just
forgetting the
democracy's
past?
There was something about forgetting the past.
Right?
I'm having a conversation with someone you can't hear.
Forget the past and look into the future, wasn't it?
I was talking about mages.
My God, into the future, you pretty young gangly girl. And in my future, I see an Englishman broken over his knee. That's what I see. I mean, there's not even a speck of meat on her. There's nothing to hang on to.
I'm not looking at her, Grhan. Thank you very much.
What? Why aren't you looking at me?
Because
What? Am I not pretty enough?
do we really need to have this sort of conversation right now?
Well, you were the one starting it.
I will point it out just before I go and get another cup of tea, because I think this just makes everything better. The Archmage, the ultimate power in the galaxy, is sitting there sipping tea. Nothing distracts him.
I'm going to sip tea with that guy.
Eliza, did you hear that? Apparently, I'm not pretty enough for this guy.
Except
I
if it-
never
if it
said
helps-
that.
Hang on, if it helps, Theodis is totally sipping tea judgmentally. The Archbishop is sipping tea serenely.
Darcy, just don't listen to her. You are. No. She's-
Yeah, I would say.
She mumbles something in Cantonese. It's just like what?
Darcy's gonna just imply that means something favorable. So.
Shit up.
Right? I mean, I wouldn't get this many offers when it comes to my work. Like, if you've seen my agenda, it's like full. Okay? I have people paying me to be with me.
What?
Yeah.
You're
Not
that sort of woman?
Wait.
No!
What?
Darcy is tipsy. This happens.
Did Darcy just admit to being a lady of ill repute?
Well, no, but it definitely sounded
No,
like
that's
that.
That's actually what Roros just says.
No, but
Looking up
Okay.
from his drink.
Does your mind know what you do?
No. What? No! Oh my God! You are. Do I even look like one of those? Fuck!
I
I'm not a
mean-
whore.
Oh, I mean, I've never seen one, so I don't really have any.
I
I
think they
don't
prefer
think
the
you've
term
ever seen
professional
a woman.
I mean, not many, just the ones in the village.
Yeah, exactly. And they
So-
probably look like sheep or cows.
So, Archbishop, how have you been doing these nights?
There are so many strange idiosyncrasies in our society. It's just fascinating, really.
This is a fucking much better conversation that I had than I had with this
Is that-
certain someone.
That one's in its cups, it is. That one's in her cups.
Oh man.
Do I need to call Hune or Lottie to come get you?
So no, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna have such a hangover tomorrow, and I'm not even gonna feel it.
I like how you can create a doom cannon, but you can't hold down a pint of alcohol.
Ooh. Well, them's
I'm
fighting words
afraid
where I
that-
come from.
Listen,
I think everything
I'm
is fighting
sorry,
words where
lad.
it come from.
I'm sorry, young man. You do not understand just how much alcohol Dr. Rothoff has been putting into her system today. It's obscene. It's absurd. Other people would be dead but she is still able to hold a conversation.
That's not a conversation. She's not using English anymore. I don't know what that is.
I'm just
No,
mocking.
That sounds like Cantonese to me.
I think I speak.
Without raising an eyebrow, the
Cantonese.
Archbishop replies in Cantonese, "Indeed, but then again, I don't think the goat would fit."
I just think it's interesting how we can have all this power and still have all these simple mortal things.
What
Because-
power do we have?
Because I'm not a fucking conceited bitch. Not yet, anyway.
Oh, she's forward. Oh, she's forward.
Hmm.
Well,
Meep. And in front of clergy.
nice to meet another British person, as Darcy will extend her hand to Theodos.
It's
By the way, I have a question. Because the Campbells historically were, is this character incredibly Catholic, Marcus?
does a bear shit in the woods?
Excellent. No, because literally somebody swearing in front of a priest. What? I'll fight them.
Did you hear him say it? Oh, in front of clergy. She's forward.
Pleasure, Theodos Crane. Tragically, I'm from the north, but it will do.
Hi, Darcy Ellsworth. Mostly London region, though I spent some time in the States, so it doesn't really count.
Oh, shite. There's two of them.
Boris Okazari of Dubai of the United Arab Emirates.
On the bright side, at least now Branson, you can stop undressing her with your eyes.
I'm not doing any such thing.
I see you're a southerner. I suppose
Loud
we're destined to destroy each other.
noises.
Go sleep.
No, I don't wanna.
Oh, don't worry. The Pure will take care of that in a moment. Yes, it will.
You want another drink?
Oh, famous last words.
Liza, in your dream, all of a sudden, you're half asleep. You're in that wonderful place where you're not quite awake and not quite asleep. Bang. Bang. Your parents' corpses in front of you. The blood on your hands.
She
React
flutters.
accordingly.
She flutters her eyes open and closes them again. No, you fucking good. Just. Oh, well, maybe I should get another drink. Darcy.
Yeah?
You get me home.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
And fucking tastic.
I know I am.
She'll reach out an arm towards you, kind of limp, and with her eyes closed, with like that half smile on her face, like "Thank you."
If it helps, you will catastrophically miss Darcy and kind of lose your balance. Falling over.
That's perfect. She's not actually getting up. She's just like holding out her arm. It's kind of like drunk people, just like.
On a side note, for those of you who have not experienced Drunk Max, it is a national treasure.
I mean, well, let's just not get into tales.
There, Sass. It's okay.
Oh boy. Yeah, 2 Long Island iced teas. Poof. Poof.
There they are, 2 Long Island iced teas.
One goes to Eliza.
Oh, thank Bon for this shit. And she just.
Well, as long as she doesn't facepalm in it, I'm sure she'll be fine. Darcy says, you know, she will shove the now empty bottle of champagne to the side and will start the glass of iced tea.
Eliza's gonna try and stand up. Put the Long Island iced tea down. Try and stand up. Just like, all right. I think it's time. Or after I finish this, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Someone should go. She should not be attended. No. No. That's.
Well, don't you be thinking about attending her, Jesus.
Rorus will actually walk to the curtain and say, Amir, could you make sure that Eliza does not fall down in the toilet?
The Amir will respond in her voice. She doesn't physically come out. She'll say, that will be difficult, considering Miss Hoth is currently falling asleep in the hallway.
Could you please provide her with a pillow and blanket, please?
Yes.
My thanks, Amir. And he'll turn back to the rest of the group and say, so Eliza didn't make it to the bathroom.
Is there a bucket, just in case, next to her?
Ross will peek his head back around into the hallway and say, Amir, could you please provide her a bucket as well, just in case?
So we should not engage in the age. So we should definitely not engage in the age-old Clan Campbell game of what side she's going to wake up on and will she vomit or not. Yes.
Ew. So
The Amir will
barbaric.
make sure she's taken care of.
Yeah, well, definitely then. Read the game. Well, I came because I needed information. Other than the fact that I'm new, I train people to do things, but I was looking for any specific craftsmen you knew who made items, weaponry, that sort of thing. Do they have those here of the magey sort?
best one of them is currently catatonic out there in the hallway.
Ross will point towards the drunken, sleeping blob that is Eliza.
I don't mean like guns and such. I mean like swords and axes and that sort of thing.
Ross will once again point towards Eliza.
I should have probably asked before her face fell on the pillow. Yes, indeed. Okay.
You could just write her a note, put it in her pocket, and she'll find it tomorrow.
Or write it on her face. Yes, the bishop suggests that.
What? She won't find that in the morning.
But I have a pin. She'll look in the mirror at some point, won't she?
Here, my child. Take my shirt. No, because I have to use this. I have to use this line once in my life. Here, my child. Take my Sharpie.
Darcy is like totally looking weirded out. You call that your shirt? Oh, you mean a pen?
What? Oh my goodness, woman! I know your mind was right then. Oh my! That's yes. Oh my goodness gracious.
But when it comes to a mirror,
so blushing with the beat red.
You know, usually the blood goes somewhere else. But when it comes to a mirror, I really doubt Eliza is the kind of woman that would immediately look into a mirror in the morning, given her looks. No offense to her, of course. Make a note.
My blood goes wherever I want it to, usually.
Mira!
Sorry.
That made everything better. Thank you, Marcus. Well done. Everyone, give Marcus a slow clap.
Oh, no.
You know what, guys? At this point, we're going to end the scene, mostly because my chest is killing me. So we've been at it for like 2.5 hours, so both are good reasons. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has most certainly been a scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.